Rachel, it's great to know that all of these athletes will be greeted with a message of inclusion and equity when they arrive in Niagara in 2022. Thanks for joining us. As part of Culture Days in St. Catharines, the doors were thrown open Sunday at the Spire Church. Programs run by the church, Carousel Players, and the Willow Arts Community welcomed visitors, beginning with a concert on the front lawn.
Expectations, how do I change you? How do I accept you?
This is our second album launch. This one had 28 original songs, all written and recorded by artists living with mental illness and substance use in Niagara. This feels like joy to me. This feels like connection and community. I know a lot of folks are feeling very proud of themselves today, as they should. I feel very proud to have any part of something like today.
Willow is a new tenant in the building, having to find a new home upon the closure of Rodman Hall.
Rodman Hall represented a place of belonging for our members of the Willow. I mean, they belong to the organization of Willow Arts Community, but the building and the space that housed so much connection and healing and creativity meant a lot to our folks. So I think it took us through this space of realizing that locations and buildings are important, but this sense of belonging and creative expression can't be sold and can't close down, and that we could set up in a room anywhere and that thing would still live on with us. So I think it was a mourning period for many in the arts community, and especially Willow Arts Community. But we're here now. We have a new location, and we couldn't be happier with where we've landed and the community that still surrounds us and supports us.
Carousel Players Artistic Director Monica Dufault was happy to finally welcome visitors back into their space.
You know, Mike, I think that's the thing that I miss the most is that reaction from an audience, that interaction with an audience of young people. We've been making digital works at Carousel Players over the last several months, and they've got really great response, but it's just somehow not the same. You don't get that immediate feedback from an audience. You don't get to share it with an audience in the same way. So yes, it's wonderful to have some young people here today listening to the Drag Queen story time and doing crafts and doing some drama games later.
Does it make you hopeful for the next few months, for the near future, getting back to some normal routines?
Absolutely, it makes me hopeful. This is Carousel Players' 50th anniversary season. I think you and I have spoken about that before. So we're just launching into that season, and most of our in-person activities will be happening after March break. But I am very hopeful and really looking forward to sharing those projects with families, with kids, with educators. Spire is an incredibly supportive environment for the arts community. And the space that we were just doing our Drag Queen Storytime in, that's now a dedicated art space. So we had funding from the Trillium Foundation to renovate that space, to put in some sound tiles, to get rid of the echo, to do some other renovations to it so that we can now use that space that was a gymnasium for many years as our main rehearsal space where we do most of our arts education activities. Our summer theater school was held there. And not just Carousel Players, but other arts groups in the city are now using this space. So that's a wonderful new area for people to create new work.
So you've got this office here. You also have the gallery space, the workspace that you're going to be using as well. So what goes on in the creative studio?
A lot of creativity, a lot of conversations, depending on what we're up to in a season. It could be a cartooning class. Our open studios seem to be a big hit where folks are just bringing an idea or a creative project with them, or having access to our supplies and materials on hand. And really it's just access to each other, access to other artists, up to the same things or from similar backgrounds, collaborating and sharing skills and sharing resources.
The Willow Arts Community has a number of programs planned for the coming months, including cartooning, improv, a mural project, and another songwriting session. For information or to donate, visit thewillowcommunity.com.